Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video where today you join me for episode 10 of the Monoposto driver career mode, taking on the British Grand Prix in our McLaren. So let's get straight into it then. Going into qualifying now, it's Max Verstappen on pole position ahead of his teammate Sergio Perez and our teammate Pierre Gasly up into P5, so best of the best for him. So great qualifying for my teammate, and we're just aiming now to replicate his lap in qualifying, trying to get as close to him as we can. We're currently third in the Drivers' Championship behind Sergio Perez and Fernando Alonso, so to kind of get anywhere near between those two drivers would be quite good as we go just a little bit too wide onto the grass there, trying to push the limits at the Silverstone circuit now in our McLaren, which is around like the fourth fastest car this season. So definitely we could be on course for a podium today. We got so close to a win last time out in Baku, but two silly mistakes, 2 5-second time penalties took the win away from us, so we just need to have a clean race today, and hopefully we can get closer and closer to that prestigious win in the next few races as we're opening DRS now, coming down a hanger straight, coming towards the final few stages of our lap now. We need to have a crucial turn in into Stowe, and it's a pretty nice and tidy corner for us. We're on track for a pretty decent lap here, coming through the final chicane now, braking early and making sure that I can get the best possible exit now, coming onto the final straight now, and we're going to see where this lap is going to line us up for the British Grand Prix today. Coming across the line, and it's P5 for us, the exact same time as our teammate Pierre Gasly, but we are ahead of him. So a great lap from us, definitely where we were aiming to be. And now let's get our head down and hope that we can have a nice clean race today. Hopefully get onto the podium, no silly mistakes from us today, and yeah, let's just hope for the best today. As it's just decided what tyres that we are going to be starting on. The soft tyres is what we've chosen. We're going to go for an aggressive start here. The Ferrari ahead of us, I believe that is Carlos Sainz on the medium tyres. Max Verstappen also on the mediums, so we're going to be right on their tails at the start of the race. As the 5 lights are out and we are underway at Silverstone. If we don't get that good of a start, our teammate Pierre Gasly is already challenging us coming into turn 1, but we're able to put the foot to the floor and we stay ahead of our teammate Gasly, and we're now having a look at Carlos Sainz on the medium tyres. There's no gap for us to slot into just yet, and we just need to keep it clean and tidy. Coming out of turn 1 is Verstappen, kick some dirt up coming onto the back straight now, and our teammate Pierre Gasly breathing down our neck, but we have a little bit of breathing space between the front of the pack and the back of the pack, and we just need to now hopefully try and gain on the Ferrari off Charles Leclerc as we're coming to Copse now, and we're going to enable some of our ERS to try and get past Carlos Sainz on the soft tyres and he's on the medium, so we need to make use of this overtake. Now we're going wheel to wheel into Copse. Are we going to have a critical corners moment now? As Verstappen and Leclerc nearly have a critical corners moment, but we're able to get past the Ferrari coming into Copse, but he's still side by side of us now, coming into Magnus and Beckers, who's going to be the bravest here, and we just managed to edge out the Ferrari, staying side by side. Great racing by us both, and we're now up to P4 into lap 1 of this race. Leclerc and Verstappen are battling quite hard, and we're just going to sit back and watch this happen and try and pick up the scraps of this fight. As we now coming into Stowe for the first time, we're in P4 and our teammate Pierre Gasly has dropped down to P6, and we're now just coming through the final chicane now to start the second lap of this race. A good start from us now, and now let's just continue to chip away and make some progress and climb now to the front of the field. Coming into lap 2 now, Verstappen and Leclerc going wheel to wheel coming into Stowe. We also have our DRS enabled, and we're just going to sit back and watch this battle happen. Hopefully there isn't any collisions ahead, and we're just going to try and pick up the scraps of this battle now as Leclerc and Verstappen are going wheel to wheel into the final chicane, and Verstappen goes flying.
Front wing damage.
And indeed we do have front wing damage. Verstappen and Leclerc going wheel to wheel, Verstappen being left no room whatsoever, and he's gone flying, or bouncing off the wall, and we were unfortunate to collect the Red Bull, and we do have now front wing damage, but we're going to stay out on our original strategy and coming in a few laps time. But the few laps that we are out with this broken front wing is definitely now going to halt our progress, as we're losing time to Lance Stroll, who is definitely the winner in that situation. He gained quite a few positions after me and Verstappen spun and caused a caused a traffic jam in the pack. So Lance Stroll now pulling away from us, and Fernando Alonso tries to slot down the inside. Carlos Sainz comes steaming of our inside as well, and we've lost P4 to the Ferrari. We just don't have the grip and the downforce anymore now that we have that front wing damage, and Verstappen somehow not sustaining that a lot of damage from that incident, definitely less damage than we have, and we're going to go wheel to wheel into Copse now. Verstappen comes out ahead of us, and Kevin Magnussen in the Haas also looking to pick up the scraps of our stricken car now, as Fernando Alonso tries to go side by side of us coming into Maggotts and Beckers, but he doesn't have the space to slot into just yet. And definitely now we're going to be dropping down the order like a lead balloon after that collision with Verstappen. We do have DRS to try and get closer to the Red Bull, but I don't think it's going to warrant any chance for an overtake. As we're trying to get a switchback coming into store on the Red Bull, maybe we are able to make an overtake, but we dip a wheel into the gas there and we drop a little bit further away from the two-time champion. As we're now coming on to lap 4 of this race, our front 2 tyres are showing really bad signs of wear, as we're now going wheel to wheel with Verstappen, trying to get a switchback, and we do get a switchback coming into the DRS zone now, and we're going to enable the DRS, use a little bit of our battery as well. Are we maybe able to pass Carlos Sainz on those medium tyres as well, coming into store on lap 4 of this race? We have to back out of our move. Carlos Sainz squeezes to the inside line there, and we are going to be boxing this lap for some medium tyres. It's Verstappen tries to go down our inside, coming into the final again, and he makes the move, but we're going to be boxing this lap now for the medium tyres. So it needs to be a good clean stop from our pit crew now, as we put on the medium tyres now, as Alex Albon glitches through our car there. That is a glitch in the game, not an unsafe release like last time in Baku. He just teleports through our car, but we are now on the medium tyres, and we are the leader of all these cars who've come into the pit lane now. So we now have some work to do to get back up to the top of the field. Coming into lap 7 of this race now, we're breathing down the neck of Lance Stroll in the Aston Martin on our new medium tyres, as we set a personal best, and we're now gaining ever so slightly on the Aston Martin. Now we can try and make a move down the inside of the Aston Martin. We go for it, but he cuts us off. There isn't enough space for us to go into there, and we're going to have to sit back just a little bit longer and try and bind our time to get past the Aston Martin driver. And we are now gaining on the Aston Martin of Lance Stroll. Now we're going to pick the outside coming into this corner now after the DRS zone. He holds the outside line and he defends us, but we're going to get a beautiful switchback here now, and we're going to have a much better run coming into Copse now. Is this going to be the critical corners moment that we have been dreading? Who's going to back out? Who's going to be the bravest now? Coming into Copse, we're going to go wheel to wheel with Lance Stroll. Coming into Copse, no collisions, but Lance Stroll hangs it around the outside like an absolute madman, and he keeps that position from us. And it's going to be a great race between ourselves and the Aston Martin now, as we still aren't able to get past him. But we are going to have DRS now coming onto the hanger straight. Lance Stroll's going to have to do some defending to keep us behind, and we're going to use our battery now. Which way we're going to go, to the inside or the outside? We dummy Lance Stroll, and we try to go around the outside of the Aston Martin of the Canadian driver coming into store now. He's still there on our inside, but it just looks like we have now finally made the crucial move for P3 coming into the final few corners of this race, of this lap. And yes, we are ahead of the Aston Martin and Lance Stroll, but coming into lap 8 of this race now, he's on our inside, coming onto the Wellington straight, I think this is. And Carlos Sainz also watching this battle with great interest, as Carlos Sainz and Lance Stroll both try to go down the inside of us. Carlos Sainz can't make the move just yet, but Lance Stroll gets back past us for P2. And we're going to use a little bit of our battery now to try and get closer to the Aston Martin. Surely we are too far back to try and make a move. Going into Copse, we try to have a look down the inside, but as it is, we are way too far back and we have to think otherwise. But we're going to have DRS once again onto the hanger straight as we come through Maggotts and Beckers now, trying to gain as much time as we can on the Aston Martin. Carlos Sainz on the hard tyres, dropping back a little bit, and we are going to get a second helping of DRS, a second chance to try and make the move on Lance Stroll. Carlos Sainz also joining the party with some DRS. Which way we're going to go? We're going to try and go around the outside of the Aston Martin, coming into store for the second lap in a row. We go a little bit wide on the exit. Lance Stroll still there on our inside, but we are able to finally, it looks like, we've made the move there. As Carlos Sainz gets past Lance Stroll, he cuts the chicane a little bit, and he tries to make the move on us. Coming into lap 9 of this race, he's on our outside, and Carlos Sainz on the hard tyres gets back past us. So our medium tyres now starting to fall off a little bit, as we now need to try and follow the Ferrari. Coming into turn 1 now, we're going to have DRS to help us, and are we going to be able to try and make a move on the inside of the Ferrari? We're going to go for it, but there's no gap for us there. As you can see, Max Verstappen is out of the race. He must have had some sort of crash somewhere, and you can see as well Fernando Alonso also out of the race. So one of our title rivals is out, so it's going to be a good dosage of point for us now, as we are focusing on trying to get past Carlos Sainz now. Sergio Perez has came into the pits for his final stop. He holds a fastest lap, and he's gone onto a fresh set of soft tyres. So we still haven't made our second pit stop, so we're going to be trying to go for the overcut on Sergio Perez. Not Lance Stroll, Carlos Sainz on the hard tyres. Probably going to be going to the end, as our tyres have now reached the red mark, and we are going to be coming in this lap. But are we going to be coming in this lap without a fight? We're going to try and go side by side with Carlos Sainz through Maggotts and Beckers. We bang wheels and we nearly go onto the grass, but we are able to keep the car in one piece. Sergio Perez behind us now on those soft tyres. He's gaining so much time, and I don't think we're going to be able to make the overcut work. Sergio Perez has to go on our outside. We're going on the inside of Carlos Sainz. It's a 3-car battle for the lead of this race, as we just managed to get the car through store. And we are now going to be coming in this lap. I think Carlos Sainz is going to be staying out on those hard tyres, and for us, the time is up on these medium tyres as we go a little bit wide onto the grass, and definitely now is the time to be coming in for the medium tyres for our final stop of this race. And we are now coming in for a set of soft tyres. Lance Stroll also comes in, and are we going to beat the Aston Martin coming out back onto the racetrack? And yes, we are going to beat the Aston Martin, so we are now going to come back into this race in P8. So we definitely now have some work to do if we want to chip back away at the field. We've already gotten past Nick de Vries, and next up is our teammate Pierre Gasly, who doesn't put up much of a fight. Thankfully, he lets us go, unlike Valtteri Bottas last year. So we have a good teammate this year. He's allowed us to get back past him and try and cut through the field, as we now get past the Williams of Logan Sargent, and that is now for P5. So we are one of the only few cars on soft tyres, and we're going to be absolutely flying through this field to try to fight Sergio Perez and Carlos Sainz for the win of this race, as we're now following Lando Norris with 2 laps to go onto the hanger straight. Are we going to be able to make a move on the Mercedes? We're going to try and have a look around the outside of the Mercedes. He positions his car perfectly, and we're now going side by side into the chicane, as Lando Norris just manages to hold onto that position. We nearly cut our front wing off, as Sergio Perez now comes in for his final pit stop. Lando Norris also comes in for his final pit stop. So Sergio Perez maybe underestimated the wear of those soft tyres, and we set the fastest lap of the race. So yes, Sergio Perez maybe has underestimated those soft tyres, and he's had to come in for a final time, which has definitely halted his progress. But that is good for us. We pretty much have now a confirmed podium, but it's now the final lap of this race. We're only 3 seconds off the lead of this race. Charles Leclerc on 1 mediums, Charles Leclerc on 1 mediums, and Carlos Sainz on 1 hard. We're on relatively new soft tyres. We may be in even for a chance for the win of this race, but definitely now we're going to try and take P2 off Carlos Sainz. It's a classic battle of the soft versus hard tyres. It's definitely advantage to us right now, as we're trying to follow the Ferrari coming into Copse now. Are we too far back to make a move? Yeah, definitely too far back to make a move, but Sainz goes a little bit wide on the exit, and we're now going to try and challenge him around the outside, coming into Maggots and Beckett now, and we get past the Ferrari for P2. And look how much we're gaining on Charles Leclerc now. He does not have the grip to try and take these corners flat out, but we do, and we've gained so much on the Ferrari now, and it's going to be a drag race coming down the hanger straight now. Are we able to make a move for the lead of this race? We go around the outside of the Ferrari. Is he going to try and stick a nose in there? He tries to stick a nose in. Charles Leclerc still there, and we try to hold him off, and it looks like we may have this win sealed, done and dusted. Coming into the chicane for the final time, we lock up a little bit, and we go a little bit wide. Charles Leclerc trying to hang on our outside. There's no space for him to go into, and for the first time, it looks like, and yes, it will be, for the first time, we win in Formula 1 after coming so close last time out. We have a winner in Formula 1.
You are a Formula 1 race winner.
Come on, team! Come on! This is just the beginning, guys. This is just the beginning.
Looking at the driver standings now, we have a little bit of breathing space from Carlos Sainz in P3, but are we able to challenge Sergio Perez, who is currently leading the Drivers' Championship? And now coming to the Constructors' Championship, we are quite close behind Ferrari and very close to Red Bull, so hopefully we can challenge for the Constructors' title.